Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hello and welcome once again to Cheap Shot Entertainment. As ever, you are the Cheap Shot Nation and I am your host, the Reverend Luke Edwards. We're going to take you through a quick shot review for Cheap Shot Entertainment. This one is Scream 4, released in 2011, a full 11 years after Scream 3 was released. And I really like this film. It's Wes Craven again. Would prove to be one of his very last films, sadly, before he died in 2015. Another legend gone of the horror genre. Based on, again, characters created by Kevin Williamson. Got Nev Campbell playing Sydney, Courtney Cox playing Gale Weathers, and of course David Arquette playing Dewey. Got Lucy Hale playing Sherry. Got Roger Jackson as the iconic phone voice again. What's your favourite scary movie? Emma Roberts as Jill, daughter of Eric Roberts, incidentally, and niece of Julia Roberts. I didn't know that. I just knew her face from American Horror Story, and that's how I remembered her. Hayden Panettiere is also in this movie as a very rare appearance after her role on Heroes, as playing Kirby Reed. Why would you name your kid Kirby? Who knows? It's horror. Let's not ask questions. So the plot is 10 years or 11 years after Sydney returned. Sydney had all the problems in Hollywood. Sydney returns to promote her new book. She has written a book called Out of Darkness, based on the fact that she went into hiding and then she came out and she was fine and all that kind of stuff. Self-help book. And Dewey is now the sheriff of Woodsboro. She returns to Woodsboro. Dewey is now the sheriff. She has a deputy called Judy Hicks, and the year 2000 was when the murders ended in Hollywood. Gail's got writer's block. She's trying to write more stories. Woodsboro has become boring, and Sydney's trying to reconnect with her roots, cousin Jill and her aunt Kate. But Sydney's appearance also brings out the Ghostface killer. Not the rapper, obviously, Mr. Ghostface. Your basic slash and stalk happens again in this film. Scream 4, there's not much new here apart from the addition of filming equipment. So, 2011, we've got full access to the internet and streaming. YouTube is a thing, and so you basically get the killer streaming a lot of things, and you can see what's happening. You've got two film geeks, including Macaulay Culkin's brother, which I haven't written down on here, but basically the same things happen. The killer comes out. Sydney's there. He's trying to catch Sydney, trying to lure her into a false sense of security and trying to get some measure of revenge. There's always a plot point here where someone wants to kill Sydney Prescott. I think she should have just stayed where she was, up in the mountains. She wouldn't have had anybody trying to kill her there. But I really like this film. I think it was really good. Gale Weathers has her fringe back, something that I didn't mention in Scream 3. Gale Weathers' fringe is right up here, and it looks awful. There's even a whole article about Gail Weathers' fringe. She got her fringe back, which is cool, you know. And like I say, she's now married to Dewey, and you've got the deputy who's trying to seduce Dewey. More red herrings in this one as well. You've got the psycho ex-boyfriend and things like that, and it does turn out to be someone. Even though I've seen this film, I'd actually forgotten who was the killer in this film, and it does turn out to be someone that you wouldn't actually expect. But then again, I suppose, you know, thinking back at it based on what happened in Scream 3, maybe you would expect it. I don't know. You know, it's one of those did he, didn't he, she, he, whoever did it, you know. And you know, the kills are good. The gore is just plentiful. It finishes off in a huge mansion as well, which is awesome. And actually no, this one doesn't finish off in a huge mansion. That's number 3. This one has a barn scene, which is really cool. You know, the Stabathon, of course. Why not? Why not have a horror movie marathon? Go to one every year at the Derby Quad, which is £25, and you get like 5, 6, maybe 5 horror movies in a row. Some very good ones, some not so great, some foreign language ones which you don't really want to read at 1 o'clock in the morning, but if you get through to breakfast, you get your breakfast included. I don't think you get your breakfast included even if you fall asleep, to be honest, but there you go. That is Scream 4. Very much worth watching. I'd actually put my favourite, I'd put this as my favourite behind the original, just because it's so new and so different. It does a lot of things that Scream 1 did back in 1996, and you know, brings, you know, horror back into the mainstream again. We've got, you know, the Conjuring universe now, which is meh, but this really did bring it back into the public eye. You know, the iconic phone voice. Who is Ghostface? Mr. Ghostface. He even at the end of the credits, he's got his own logo. That's how much Ghostface means to the Scream franchise. And incidentally, later on this year we were supposed to get a Scream 5, but obviously with Hollywood going into lockdown like everybody else, that is probably not going to happen by the end of this year, but hopefully it will happen by the beginning of next year. I think it's about ready for a reboot. Dare I say it? Reboots. I think it's about ready for a reboot rather than another sequel. You know, we had the Scream TV series. It was good. It's still on Netflix. If you've got Netflix, if you're, you know, you shut in, watch the Scream mini-series. Say mini-series, the Netflix series. It's actually really, really good if you want more Scream stuff to watch. But I'm going to give this movie a Deputy Dewey and of a Sidney Prescott. There you go. I'm just going to do that because it was easy, but it is a really good movie. But incidentally, you know, I was hoping that Dewey would get his theme song back. You know, boo 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 boo. Gave him in Scream 2. I would have liked to have seen this in Scream 3 and 4. They didn't do it, unfortunately, but there you go. That is Scream 4. And finally, your rules to successfully survive a further horror movie sequel or a horror movie remake. Don't mess with the original. I'm not going to use the exact words that's written down here. The death scenes have to be way more extreme, which they were. Virgins can die. So there you go. You're no longer safe if you have never had sex. New versions are always 2.0, very much so with the streaming cameras. Technology is involved and is integral to the plot, and filming the murders is now the done thing. You always have to have an opening sequence, which Scream always did really well anyway. If If you've ever seen the first one, you'll know exactly what I mean. But this one was an opening sequence within an opening sequence within an opening sequence for Stab 6. So there you go. Really good film. Really liked it. It's almost got way too meta, but still a fantastic film. Go and see it. You are the Cheap Shot Nation. This has been another quick shot review for Cheap Shot Entertainment. I've been your host, the Reverend Luke Edwards, and I'll see you next time for more quick shot reviews. In lockdown, stay safe.